Coming up on HIGMT, test production of the Model Y ramps up at Gigafactory Shanghai, Tesla moves forward at Gigafactory Berlin, a Q&A session with Franz von Holzhausen, and my 2021 predictions for Tesla. Welcome to How I Got My Tesla, the podcast of indeterminate length for Saturday, December 5th, 2020, episode 19. In Ottawa, Ontario, I'm Matt Wilson. Let's start off with a few Tesla things you should know. Test production of the Tesla Model Y appears to be underway at Gigafactory Shanghai. A recent video from drone operator Jason Yang at the Tesla Gigafactory in China may have caught a locally made Model Y on the test track. According to Teslarati.com, Gigafactory Shanghai's Model Y was registered with China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology earlier this month. In his tweet, Ray for Tesla also wrote that Q1 is secure, alluding to the idea that Gigafactory Shanghai could get their production permit in time to start mass production and deliveries of the Model Y by the end of the first quarter of 2021. Tesla is trying to convince Cybertruck pre-bookers to lease a new Tesla car amid a major push for year-end deliveries. Electric.co notes this week that when Tesla announced the Cybertruck last year, the automaker started taking reservations with $100 down payments. Tesla is currently in the process of pushing deliveries at the end of the year because it aims to deliver record numbers this quarter to reach 500,000 vehicles by the end of 2020. Tesla needs to deliver more than 181,000 vehicles in this quarter. This plan is to help achieve this new goal. Now we know that Tesla is using a large number of its Cybertruck pre-orders to help deliveries by trying to convince them to lease a new Tesla while they wait for the electric pickup. Finally, Tesla seems to have delayed the delivery schedule for the Cybertruck as people previously linked to the start of production in late 2021 with the start of shipping, but these emails seem to indicate that the delivery window will actually begin in 2022. Battery maker LG Chem clearly plans to more than double its battery life to support demand from one of its newer customers, and that would be Tesla. LG Chem, which also supplies the other automakers such as GM, Hyundai, and many others, plans to significantly increase the production and capacity to support Tesla. Specifically, LG Chem has confirmed that it will invest $500 million next year to increase its annual production capacity of the 2170 cylindrical battery cells by 8 gigawatt hours at its Nanjing plant near Tesla Gigafactory Shanghai. The company is reportedly already adding new production lines to its Korean plant to support Tesla's new plants in Germany and in the United States. Teslarati.com has a story indicating that Tesla can now start to move forward with the internal development of its world-class paint shop at Gigafactory Berlin. The electric automaker was granted permission to begin installing machinery at the facility, which was subject to several environmental limits before the process could begin. Paint quality has always been an issue for Tesla for several years, and the company has made a stark desire to improve the issue with its future installations. Many owners have complained about the quality of their paint, but Tesla has made several manufacturing improvements over time. Now, Land Brandenburg reports that Tesla has been given permission to start installing paint shop machines in the building. The State Environmental Board granted approval, which has had several concerns about how the paint facility would operate according to local standards. The report says that Tesla's initial request to beginning installing painting machines was submitted in August. Tesla was also given permission to start work overnight, which was previously prohibited. The state office has made an exemption to the ban on night work so that workers can maintain social distancing and hygiene requirements. And finally, Giga Berlin is expected to start production of the Model Y crossover sometime in the summer of 2021, and construction has been currently underway since January 2020. Gigafactory Berlin is already making great progress with the interior of their buildings. Today, TorqueNews.com friend and Tesla enthusiast Jurgen provided some very rare footage showing the progress of the interior of the body in white building at the factory. You can also see the office space that still requires a lot of work and some polishing. The Tesla factory could be the largest private employer of all of East Germany. The factory will start with 7,000 employees, then balloon up to 40,000 people that can eventually work there. Tesla Design Chief Officer Franz von Holzhausen recently posted an online question and answer session in China with a few members of the media in attendance. Franz shared several ideas on the shape of the Cybertruck, as well as the inspirations behind the unique all-electric origami-like appearance of the pickup truck. According to Franz, Tesla believes that pickup trucks should be strong and durable. That's why the Cybertruck adopted an XY theme, with the Cybertruck's exoskeleton being bent instead of stamped. Speaking of Tesla's inspirations for the Cybertruck, Franz noted that the electric car maker is looking to vehicles like jet fighters as the basis for the all-electric pickup truck. Elon Musk told friends and associates that he planned to move to Texas and away from California. A new CNBC report states that the CEO plans to leave the Golden State and instead become a resident of the Lone Star State, but the reasons are not entirely known. The big question is, will Tesla's headquarters go with it, or will it remain in California, where the car maker has called home since its inception in 2003? The CNBC report suggests that Musk's move might be in relation to his overall dissatisfaction with the COVID-19 restrictions in the states, which he had previously disagreed with earlier this year. With Tesla now having a gigafactory in Texas that will manufacture several company vehicles for customers in the eastern half of the country, there is no reason why the company would not establish its base in that state. Another story from electric.co indicating that Gigafactory Texas is starting to take shape with an increase of construction on all areas of the construction site. At the time, a source said that Tesla was planning to move fast in hopes of having general assembly line for the Model Y in Texas by the end of 2020, but permitting delays pretty much killed any hope of having a production capacity at the site before the end of 2021. But the project is still moving fast. The progress we've seen on the field in recent weeks is rather encouraging, but Tesla and its contractors are still working on the basic structure. Elon Musk recently said that in order for Tesla to bring the Cybertruck to production by the end of 2021, everything must go smoothly at Gigafactory Texas, and they will need to develop new production processes for the truck's exoskeleton body. Elon warned that there could be difficulties in trying to do so and set the stage for some possible delays. So while we're talking about Gigafactory Texas, we might as well take a look at the drone footage provided by Jeff Roberts and Joe Tegmeyer. There are some new perimeter wall footings being worked on along the west side of Building 1. There are now 18 concrete columns now in place at the south end of Building 3, along with roof beams and a roof substructure made of precast concrete panels. Now, what I thought was the paint area at the south end of Building 3 is probably something else, since the recent work now includes concrete capping of the area, which is something I wasn't expecting to see. So honestly, I have no idea what's going on at the end of Building 3. The GigaPress area in Building 3 now has a concrete base, and structural steel is progressing for Building 2 with 27 lower cells and 18 upper cells now in place. There's still lots of GeoPure work going on with excavations for column footings dotting all over the construction site. All right, so let's talk 2021 predictions. Now, I'm going to go from December 2020 to probably the end of December 2021. We'll see what happens. So it's either going to be a full 12 months or maybe 13 months. It depends on how I'm feeling. So I've broken down my predictions into 4 categories. The first one's going to be features. The second one is announcements. The third one would be gigafactories, and the fourth one is more personal related. So under the features predictions, I predict that actually Tesla is going to eliminate the use of Chrome across all their models. I think they're going to eliminate Chrome and offer just basically Chrome Delete and just go with the flat black, similar to what we're currently seeing in the Model Y. It just makes more sense from a production standpoint to get rid of as much Chrome as possible. I think utilizing Chrome does pose some issues environmentally, and by getting rid of that, it's just I think it honestly speeds up production by not having to rely on the rather onerous process to get things chromed. So I think Chrome Delete across all their models is going to be pushed for 2021. Now, the second feature that I predict for 2021 is wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto will be offered to new drivers in 2021. I think with more vehicles being put out on the road by Tesla, I think demand for these two features are going to be quite substantial, almost to the point where Elon just can't ignore it anymore. Now, I know you can pair via Bluetooth, but I think people are going to start to request quite heavily that Apple CarPlay and Android Auto be offered either standard or maybe a paid upgrade like $500 or something like that, just to get it integrated into their infotainment system. So Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for 2021. I think that's a lock. So for announcements for Tesla, I predict that Tesla's actually going to miss their 500,000 target for 2020. I know they're really trying hard, but I don't know if they actually have the capacity to reach the needed 181,000 delivered vehicles by the end of the fourth quarter. I hope they're able to do that. It'd be great if they could. I think they're going to fall a little bit short. So I think they're going to miss their 500,000 target for this year. Now, that being said, Tesla will probably exceed their 1 million target for 2021. So with Gigafactory Berlin coming online, and I think with the increased production coming out of Gigafactory Shanghai, including the current production out of Fremont, I think actually getting to 1 million delivered vehicles for 2021 is actually achievable. And another expected announcement, I think, for 2021 is that Canadians will now be offered with Tesla insurance, which will be great. Hopefully they can get it past the required regulators here in Canada. But that's something I'm really looking forward to. I have a long-held belief that, the already established insurance companies here in Canada can probably use a good shakeup, and I think Tesla would be just that type of insurance company to come in and start offering a better insurance product at a more affordable price. So Tesla insurance for Canada, maybe 2021. In locally, I think Ottawa will finally get a showroom. It probably won't be constructed, but I think it'll be announced that Ottawa will get actually a nice showroom announced for 2021. And while we're talking about Tesla's announcements, I think Tesla's going to announce a second stock split in 2021. Their stock lately seems to be on a trajectory that was very similar earlier this summer when they announced the 5-for-1 stock split. So I think that in order to keep the stock within reach of investors and to possibly even to raise more capital, I think they're going to announce a second stock split. The $25,000 model will be revealed in 2021. It'll probably be called the Model C. That's what I'm predicting. And the Cybertruck prices will also be announced in Canada. Currently, we don't actually have any prices announced. We just have a Tesla page that gives you all the current options that are available, but without actually any prices. So I suspect that Tesla will announce the Cybertruck prices in Canada sometime next year. So the third category has to do with gigafactories. I predict that, unfortunately, due to the construction constraints down in Texas, I don't think there's going to be any production out of Texas at all. There could be some test productions where a very small, limited number of Cybertrucks will actually leave the plant for deliveries, but no full-on production out of Texas in 2021. That's going to be definitely pushed to 2022. That's what I'm seeing out of Texas. It'd be great if I was wrong, but based on the drone footage and what I'm seeing on site from a construction standpoint, I don't see them doing any full-on scale production out of Texas for next year. Now, the big thing that I believe is going to actually happen is that Tesla's going to announce another gigafactory in the U.S. And so it'll be the 6th gigafactory. It's going to be announced, and I believe it's actually going to be it's going to be built out of Detroit. I believe that Michigan is being a little bit sticky when it comes to allowing Tesla to sell directly to their customers. So I think they're a good way to help alleviate that is to actually set up a gigafactory there. Now, that's probably pretty minor. I think Detroit can really use Tesla's presence in the area. There's probably tons of infrastructure already set up with previous, now defunct car factories. I believe that they will have absolutely no problem finding a suitable area in the Detroit area to knock down maybe some abandoned car factories and to establish, a new presence in the area for all electric vehicles. So yeah, I think there's be a sixth gigafactory in the Detroit area, probably announced sometime next year. So the final category for my predictions for 2021 are basically all personal, having to relate to how I got my Tesla. We are going to attempt to go down to one vehicle for the household starting in May and for the rest of next year, which is going to be a little bit tricky, but we're going to give it a good solid stab to see if we can get down to one vehicle. And my final prediction for 2021 is that there will be actually no movement for a Tesla for myself at all in 2021. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to have any money set aside for a Tesla, but to be honest, things are looking a little grim for 2021 or even 2022 for the acquisition of a Tesla of some sort. So it's going to boil down to finances. So I need to take a good hard look at the finances and figure out where it actually makes sense to find a way to get a Tesla. And if I can't financially create a method in order to get a Tesla, then it's just not going to happen. So right now, I think the odds are pretty grim. For 2022, maybe 1 in 5 odds. I'm not sure. Like I said, I think next week what I'm going to do for episode 20, I'm going to take a look at some of the financials and see just how much cash I'm going to have to find in order to get myself into some sort of a Tesla of some sort. So I'm not exactly sure how much that's going to be. And I'm sure it's going to take an awful lot of work to get to that point. But like I said earlier, I just don't want to get or put my family in a position where it's just going to be too much of a hardship financially to actually obtain a Tesla of some sort. So my preference would be to, carry on with this podcast because like I said, I don't know how this is going to end. It could end with me finding a Tesla, and it could actually end with me not at all finding a Tesla. Absolutely. So I just need to be cognizant of the fact that this story is still unwritten for myself, so I'm not exactly sure how it's going to end. So but I can definitely say that there'll be no movement for me personally towards a Tesla in 2021 unless I somehow magically trip over a bag of money and with my name on it and just take it and be like, you know what, I'm going to take this and run with it. But last time I checked, people are not leaving bags of money out in the street for stuff like this. So yeah, for 2021, I don't see it happening, but we'll see what happens. I'm still going to keep pushing forward, but for 2021, I don't think it's going to. I don't think the needle's going to move at all. But we'll see what happens next year. So that should pretty much do it for episode 19. If you're looking to purchase a new Tesla and you want 1,000 free supercharging miles, feel free to use my referral program link in the show notes or head on over to ts.la/Matthew40942. My current Tesla friend is Chatty. So thanks again, Chatty, for using my code. I don't have any new friends from Tesla this week to report on. So hashtag for this episode, let's try hashtag 2021 HIGMT predictions, and the overall hashtag for this podcast is hashtag HIGMT. And if you have any feedback for me, feel free to throw me an email at howigotmytesla@gmail.com. And you can always watch my progress by visiting howigotmytesla.com. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram by simply searching for How I Got My Tesla. So thank you for listening. This podcast is produced by Matt Wilson and hosted by Squarespace. Music for this episode is Cascade by Cubby.